Alright guys, welcome back to the GosuCup EU number 3, and we're now in round 5. So I found two players who are in that round, and they're preparing to battle as we speak. So I thought I'd just keep people who are just tuning in up to date of what this event is about and what's happening. So every Friday I will be casting and running the GosuCup EU 3 with some of the other GosuGamer guys, and I'll be bringing all the action to you all the way up to the grand finals, and each player within the top 3 will be awarded HCT points. So there is a lot on the line here. HCT points are like gold to Hearthstone players, especially pro ones. And we've had a lot of great sign-ups during the events. This is only the 3rd one, and today we had Pavel, Game King, Doki, Agara, Spo, Wampy, Martin Creek, Tice, Nyria. So we have a lot of talented players entering this cup. And if you would like to get involved in this cup and play, be sure to go to GosuGamers.net/Hearthstone, and right at the top is a little button there and it says GosuCup Europe on it. Click that and that will give you all the information you need to get involved in this tournament, including the rules, when it starts, and when you can sign up. Now, next week's GosuCup, it's a little bit in the air at the moment. We're not sure what we're doing. I won't be here. I'm actually traveling that weekend to a different event, so I won't be able to cover it. It may still go on, but if you check GosuGamers.net/Hearthstone throughout the week, I'm sure they will fill you in on what's going on. So coming up next, we have two players that I don't know personally. Yolifik? So I'm going to call him Yoli. It's a little easier for me. Yolifik and boomjeen. So Yoli going against boomjeen in the next game. Both of them are already legend. So those guys have got it fairly early. Kind of halfway through the month. Where are we? 15th of April. So yeah, about halfway through. So not too bad. Yoli is currently rank 89. So he's been climbing around top 100. And boomjeen is 312, so he's not too far off himself. So both of these players are obviously fairly talented in ladder climbing at least. We'll have to see how they do in the tournament. So these guys were preparing to get their game underway about 3 or 4 minutes ago, so I'm expecting them to be done soon with their picks, and then we can get underway. So this is round 5. Yep, so this is round 5, and then after this match, if things have caught up, we can go straight into round 6, and then that will be a semi-final game, and that will then lead into the grand final. So there's potentially 3 to 4 matches left to go for this tournament and this stream, depending on where the bracket falls. We know we have to take into consideration that this is a community cup, so people are playing games, and I'm just trying to snag matches from the bracket as quickly as I can for you, so you guys don't have too much to waiting to do. So yeah, these guys are still deciding what needs to happen. So while we wait for these guys to get underway... Oh, I spoke too soon. It looks like they are about to get into the game. Let's have a look. Yes, they are. So just gonna sort out.
Your soul shall be mine. I will fight with honor.
Just sorting out the client a minute. And there we have it. So Yolifik versus boomjeen. In round 5, one of these players is going to the semi-finals. So once you get past this round in the tournament, you're in the HCT range, and you get those points, those very valuable points. And it looks like we're starting off with a Zulok mirror. Oh wait, what am I talking about? I just saw Lepanome and Knife Juggler. I thought, oh, it must be Zulok. I must have a battle. But sorry, a Paladin versus Zulok. I swear I saw 2 Orlocks. But anyway, so this... Actually, this is probably not Secret Paladin if it's running Lepanome and Abusive. This may just be Aggro Paladin.
Why do you call?
We've seen some really spicy decks in this tournament today. Xen is running like a completely crazy lineup of kind of hybrids of existing archetypes. And we've seen Nyria's Reno Mage, which ultimately lost him that series, unfortunately. So we have seen some interesting decks come forward in this event. So the Voidwalker is dispatched of quite easily. Just plays a Leponum, doesn't want to pop him with that egg just yet. Wants to force boomjeen into using resources to get that egg out. And now boomjeen only has the Knife Juggler, which will just get taken out by that Leponum. It's a bit of an awkward, slow turn. And there's Findlay, so this is definitely aggro Paladin. I like the egg being popped open there, and using the Knife Juggler instead of the Leponome, just in case he needs the Leponome to finish off the rest of this Nerubian. It's a nice play from Yoli there. So rolling an Implosion on a 1 health Knife Juggler. And only rolls a 2 as well, so the Light's Justice is going to deal with one of these guys without too much problem. And of course then one of the other 1/1s is going to clear the board. Fire Blast seems pretty good. You're probably going to have a weapon equipped, so Fire Blast just gives you a little bit more flexibility when using that 1 damage. And boomjeen's already highlighting that low ferb. He knows what he's going to play this turn. Oh, has he changed his mind? Nope. Or is he just going to slam low? Well, he could play Knife Juggler Implosion next turn, so probably not worth committing a Knife Juggler. Peddler seems stronger. Ooh, Dragon Egg. It's not bad. Good Argus target. Mortal Coil does clear one of these 1/1s straight away. And cycles, so I can see why someone would want to get the Mortal Coil instead. But yeah, boomjeen was pretty keen on that low fab, but a combination of smaller bodies is probably the better way to go. Blessing of King's probably going to go on the 1/1. Just try and spread the power.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
And a complete push from the Blessing of King's Silverhand Recruit, and that Horse Rider does some extra damage as well, but this is where the big implosion might bring him back into the game. And it's a free, so it's an average implosion. Still a Haunted Creeper to use as well. And there we go, so Knife Juggler Implosion completely clears that board. Divine Favor is going to recharge the batteries of this aggro paladin. And Consecration a little bit too late. We can definitely find use next turn. So might see lower... I guess you have to... Lower Feb Direwolf Alpha seems like the best line. I can see the merit of wanting to go Argus this turn, but Consecration should definitely be on your mind. If Lower Feb doesn't come down, I think Yolifik can swing the game in his favour. But the trade already tells me that boomjeen's not going to go on for the aggressive line. He's going to play the more defensive. Oh, he is going for Lower Feb. I wouldn't have minded those going face, just to try and squeeze in that damage. But I guess the Knife Juggler is something to consider as well. Getting those knives off and clearing out the Haunted Creeper. Gonna go for the extra bodies with the 1/1s. Oh, misses.
The light protects me.
And misses again, so an Imp's gonna have to do the job. So lower fed will probably come down from Yolifik's side as well. Just to lock out power overwhelmings. And they can drop a shielded mini-bot or even ping the 2-1. But Yolifik can't play too defensive. He is the main aggressor in this deck. With this deck, sorry. And Argus. Is that enough? That should be, right? 2 knives as well. 8, 9, 10, 12. So he's one off, so he needs a knife to hit face. If you're going to commit the other Argus, I would have liked to have seen the other knife fly first. A little hesitant on what you want to do here. Free health. So lower fed is not going to do anything, and that Warlock deck is going to take a win for boomjeen, taking him in the lead. So a tough game there for Yolifik. He had kind of the initiative very early on, but he couldn't quite find the gas to finish that game. That lower feb blocking out the consecration was a huge turn for him. Without that lower feb, that consecration would have definitely swung the board in Yolifik's favour, but boomjeen managed to keep on board, keep the pressure going, and the double Argus provided not only a lot of protection, but also a lot of power as well. So a tough win for boomjeen. He did have to find those right answers, and he did. And he got the first game. So game number 2 starting up now. And it looks like a switch coming from Yolifik here. He doesn't want to play that aggro paladin again. And goes for the druid. boomjeen rocking the patron warrior. So boomjeen finds a decent matchup. I mean, I'm not going to say it's completely in patron's favour. This is druid. Druid is capable of crazy, crazy things. However, if boomjeen can get off that patron board on turn 5, even turn 6, it can be very hard for the druid to deal with it without the exact answers. boomjeen throws away that patron to find some early pressure and finds a lot of early cards. So Yolifik can throw the living roots down, but Armorsmith is going to eat them up quite easily. But not much else going on, unfortunately, for him. Coin Armorsmith, and this is going to deal with these groups no problem at all. Wildgrowth's going to come down and speed things up for Yolifik before this patron player gets too much going on board. Curious to what he's considering. Doesn't attack at all because he doesn't want Battle Rage to draw 2 cards. So if Yolifik had gone for an attack and boomjeen had the Battle Rage, he would have just activated it. Now this was an old strategy used by players against old patron, because them drawing cards back then was just far more powerful than it is now because of the instant damage from the combo. Nowadays it's a little different. Of course, the patron nerf was really good because patron is still a very viable deck, and it's become a bit fairer. But that's quite a heads-up play from Yolifik there, playing around Battle Rage. Not much can go on here, I suppose. You could swipe. Yeah, you could swipe that. It just feels kind of bad. You just run the 1/1 in. No, not even going to run the 1/1 in. Acolyte of Pain's going to be able to draw some extra cards. No silence just yet. Activate's going to come down. Easy target for that Deathbite in boomjeen's hand. And there's a patron, so if this ghoul sticks around, it's going to be very devastating for Yolifik. The ghoul, in combination with the Deathbite, is going to create a lot of patrons. Innovate finds its way to his hand, so tempting to get that Ancient of Lore down. Has enough mana to use Living Roots. Doesn't use it, so this is it. This is the big patron turn. Could even find an Inner Rage off the Acolyte. So there's 2 potential draws for Inner Rages. So if you go into the... So this pushes an extra damage, but it doesn't break up your card draw. So you're kind of just committing to the 2 whirlwind effects being enough, not really wanting an Inner Rage. This way you get extra damage, and that's basically it. But no Inner Rage was found. And now this is the point where the Druid's going to struggle a little bit. Going to have to jam Forsen. Hope he draws that second Savage Roar. I think you keep on to Living Roots. It just gives you that extra bit of reach to finish the game off. It'll be 0 cost. If you draw a second Savage Roar, that's 24 damage from hand. And boomjeen's at 23 right now. Decides to clear the 3/2 patron. I can see why you'd want to do it, just play a little defensively, but I think you want to play to win at this point. And right now, things are looking pretty bleak from the Druid's perspective. Slam to find that extra whirlwind effect. Doesn't get it.
Armor made to fit.
But the unstable ghoul will be a way for him to generate even more patrons. Doesn't find anything too relevant. But this puts him out of range now of the double combo. And the unstable ghoul does stand as protection against it. Things are not looking good for Yolifik.
I can see.
And he knows it as well. Boomjeen taking a 2-0 lead over Yolifik in this match. And this match leads up to the semi-finals as well, so there's a lot to play for. One more game needed for Boomjeen, match point. Yolifik still has all his decks to use. We've seen the Druid, we've seen the Aggro Paladin. So there's still a mystery deck that we haven't seen just yet. And these players are ready to go right back into it. And it's the good old classic Druid mirror that everybody loves.
I must protect the wild. Nature must be preserved.
No wild growth for Boomjeen. No wild growth for Yolifik. We do see a mind control tech, so this could be the ramp variant. Boomjeen does get the 2 1/1s to start with, but Yolifik does get ahead with the wild growth, ramping up that curve. No wild growth for Boomjeen. Gonna just have to hero power this turn. So Keeper of the Grove is the only 4-drop. Unless Shredder comes off the top, so no Shredder. Keeper of the Grove pinging a 1/1 kind of feels bad. But Yolifik wants that body on board. Again, no real play for boomjeen. Gonna have to go for the Wrath. Oh, goes for the cycle. Okay. There's the living roots as well. So really desperately want to find those innovates so we get some power plays down in the next few turns. Great top deck for Yolifik, find that Azure Drake. The swipe is going to answer that. Wild Growth takes him up to 5 this turn, puts him up to 6 next turn, allows him to coin out Ancient of Law and Ancient of War. Well, one or the other. So that's something to consider from boomjeen. Can he leave this Drake alive and ramp out? Could even coin Druid of the Claw, but that does get punished by swipe hero power. If you swipe this turn, you get to play Druid of the Claw next turn, and then you get to coin out one of the law or war. But the problem with that is Wild Growth's probably going to stick in your hand. If you go for the Wild Growth, you leave a Drake on the board, and that could be enough pressure to get some momentum going for Yolifik. So yeah, there's a lot to consider in this turn, and boomjeen is going for the Wild Growth. He wants to get that law or war out next turn. Nice draw off the top, Emperor. So now Yolifik has a lot of initiative. And this is going to demand the force of nature. Because he cannot let that Emperor stay up. And look at Yolifik's hand. The combo is sitting there ready. With an Innovate, that will be double force of nature Savage Draw. So very deadly. So Shredder gonna come down, probably with the MC tech, create some more pressure.
Engaging TC-130 into dislocator.
So as things stand, I think not swiping the Azure Drake really slowed boomjeen down. This should just be it, right? Yep, 12, 17. Oh, it's not quite there. But using the full combo to clear. But with the combination of Force of Nature and Swipe, there's not much boomjeen can do. And Yolifik's gonna get on the board, get a win with the deck he hasn't used yet. So he had to switch all the way to Druid to find that first win.
Where shall I strike?
The Spear isn't going to be enough. And the faster Druid takes it.
I can see.
So Yolifik gets on the scoreboard with that victory in the Druid Mirror. But now he still needs to win with the Aggro Paladin and the Zulok, if I remember correctly. And he has to beat Druid twice. That's very doable with the lineup he's got at the moment. This could go either way. Having the Druid last is usually not a terrible idea because it can just find wins. But when you get lined up against decks, oh no, he has a rogue. So oh no, we didn't see a Warlock. Sorry, the Zulok was from boomjeen. So he has a rogue going against this Druid, so this could be a tough match for Yolifik. But he does have some good opening stuff. Sap is fantastic in this match. SI Coin is good for taking out aspirants, but not much else. Drake is a good keep as well, getting that 5-drop. So Living Roots and Wild Growth. So now boomjeen's getting that ramp he needs. Dagger is going to dispatch these Groots pretty easily. So now boomjeen needs to find, well, I was going to say he needs to find something to draw to use that Innovate on. And now next turn he gets that Ancient of Lore, which is going to give him card draw and a good body on the field. Yolifik does have some nice stuff though. He has that sap. He can SI now and clear the whole board and leave that free down. And the next turn he has Violet Teacher. Or even Dagger Deadly Poison to deal with this Ancient of Lore. Double Ancient of Lore. Wow. The power of the wild. And a Dr. Boom. So boomjeen has all the good stuff coming up. Coin SI will clear. And let him develop a Weapon Deadly Poison as well. So we can keep both SIs on board if he chooses.
This guy's toast.
Doesn't went for the Deadly Poison, interesting. So Shredder is gonna be able to contest the Drake. The Deadly Poison is gonna pop up with the Shredder and develop a 1/1. So make things a little bit awkward for boomjeen. We're most likely gonna see a Dr. Boom. Don't mind taking out the 1/1. Because these three combined take out Dr. Boom alone. So that's something to consider.
What to do?
No combo in hand. I don't know if you need to be that aggressive and push damage on face. Two saps, so Dr. Boom can be dealt with back to back. The only issue with sap in Dr. Boom, as we all know, is he leaves those pesky boom bots up.
I am ready to learn.
So where's the boom not gonna go? Oh, hits it for 4. And Dr. Boom is back. And then he's going again, I can imagine. Azure Drake first. See if to find anything else. Doesn't find anything too useful. And sap once again. But those boom bots were absolutely devastating. Dealing with that Violet Teacher with no trouble at all. A wealth of options in boomjeen's hand. And the Azure Drake gets taken out by boombots, and more boombots come down. And a cheeky sorry from boomjeen. And that is it. Too many Dr. Booms for him to deal with. And boomjeen is going through to the semi-finals. So we have our first semi-finalist. That was crazy. Unfortunately for Yolifik, he didn't have what he needed to handle. Resap Dr. Booms one after another. So well played from both players. We have, like I said, our first semi-finalist. So I'm going to go look for the next game, which could be potentially be a semi-final. If we're still waiting on a round 5 game, I might be able to squeeze in an extra round 5 game. So don't go anywhere, guys. We are going to have the next game very soon. As always, I'll keep you posted on what's happening. So be back very soon.